Okay, this is part 3 of setting up the Korg D888 digital mixer. So the Korg mixer looks like this. It is an 8-channel, meaning that it has 8 individual channels and they are all mono. This will be explained on a different video. And what we're going to do is input a signal and adjust the signal and record it in. So we're actually going to record something today. So the first thing we need to do is to switch the mixer on. So we're going to do that by going around the back of the mixer, pressing the on switch, which is just at the back here next to the power cable, to the right of the IEC power cable. And then a red light will appear on that says standby or HDD, and that means that it's ready to go. And you just click the on button above that. The LCD screen will show you that it's loading up, and you will hear the sound of the hard drive within the unit trying to work. Okay, when it loads up the song that was last used or last recorded onto the mixer. So we can see the title of the last song, which was Black Swan. So what we want to try not to do is to record over the student or the staff member's previous session. So to do that, we need to make our own session. So to make our own session, we need to ensure that we click Select Song. This will take us to the function screen. And then what we want to do is press the cursor button, which is just here on the mixer. We want to press the right hand of the cursor button until it says new. We then click enter, and it will ask you if you want to do a song, or you can press cancel if you don't want to create a new song and you accidentally press that. If you want to make a new song, you click enter, and then it will go back to the function screen. Now what you need to do is go to the level meter screen, and you'll see that it's created a new song session. So it's gone from being called Black Swan to song 00043. So that's a new session that we can record audio on and be confident that it's going to be our session and we're not deleting anyone else's work. But song 43, in my opinion, is not a good name to work from. You want to have something that's relevant to the session you're doing, whether that's your name, the name of the band, the name of the song. So what I'm going to do is use my name for this example. So to change the name of the session, we go back to the Select Song button. We then go to function and click the right hand on the cursor, the right hand part of it, once and then twice, and it will say rename. We then click enter, and it will allow us to change the name. So you press the cursor button up or down to change the letters. So I'm just going to put my name in for this example. So I'm going to call it Mark 0001 to show that it's my first recording session on the desk. I haven't used it before to record my own personal music, so this is what this will be for. We then click enter, it will say working, and it will take us back to the function screen. Once you're on the function screen, you then click the level meter button, and then you're ready for your session. This level meter screen shows you the 8 mono channels, and when you start putting levels through, it will start to show you a readout of how loud it is and whether it's distorting or whether it's too quiet. So it gives you a good visual representation. It also shows you where in the track the player's got to. So if it was at 30 seconds, it would say 0, 30 seconds. Okay. Obviously we want to start it so it's all 0, so it's at the beginning of the track. So what we're going to do now is we're going to input a microphone to begin with. So the microphone I'm going to use for this example is a Shure D888. Check out the microphone video, which will be uploaded very shortly, to see the different mics we have here at West Herts and how they can be used. So we're going to use the Shure D888, and to plug that in we're going to use an XLR cable. Again, check out the cable video, which will be presented by Jason Houlihan later today. Now, sometimes XLR cables can get a bit tangled up, and you don't want to plug them in rather like this because it can strain the cable and damage them, and can also cause people to trip over if there's loads of cables on the floor. So we need to make sure that we untangle this properly. It can be a bit annoying sometimes, but just taking that little bit of extra time, that little bit of extra effort could stop someone hurting themselves or damaging a £20 cable. So we take our XLR and we plug it into our microphone. Once we've plugged into our microphone using the female end, we then use the male end of the XLR cable into the mixer. Okay, now that we've plugged in the microphone, we're ready to get a signal into the mixer. And to do that, we need to, first of all, set the levels. So to do that, we go to the fader for channel 1. We then turn that up to 0. This is also called unity gain. Once you've set that to 0, you then tap your microphone and you'll notice that there's still nothing coming through on the LCD screen. So what we have to do is we have to arm the channel. So we press the arm button and it will go red. And then I'll tap the microphone and we can see now that we've got a visual representation of the signal going through the desk, and it says it on channel 1, so we're using channel 1. Now the signal that we're getting is a bit low, so when you record it's going to sound a bit quiet when you come to mix it all together. So we boost that signal by turning up the trim, which is the same as gain. Just boost it a little at a time and then see how it affects the volume. 1 2 1 2 1 2. So we boost it a little bit more. 1 2 1 2 1 2. You see if we push it too much it will distort. We also get a red light on the mixer if it distorts. 1 2 1 2 1 2. So we need to avoid that red light coming through. So we just turn the gain down a little bit. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 until we've got a healthy signal. 1 2 1 2. Okay. Once you've got your level, you can then adjust the sound that you're getting of the signal. So my voice might sound a little bassy through this microphone maybe. So you've got the EQ section as previously described. So we could turn down the low end, or we could boost the high end, or if you want to give it a bit more punch you can boost the mid end so it sounds a little bit more direct. It's up to you. Obviously you don't want to do too much EQ at the input stage, you want to save that till when you're mixing everything. But if a performer is struggling to hear themselves well due to the microphone quality or the signal or the timbre of their voice, then you can affect that with the EQ. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to record a signal in. To do that we have to arm the Korg mixer. So the main arm button says record. So we press that and that will flash. And that means that it's ready to record on any of the channels, any of the 8 channels, but we're just using channel 1, which again, that's armed, it's red. So when I now press the play button, 1 2 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2 1 2 1 2, you can see the signal is coming through into the LCD screen. And then when you've finished recording, you press stop. It will say working, which means that it's saving your session. You then want to go back to the start of the session. It's a bit like a tape recorder in that you have to rewind it. To quickly rewind to the very beginning, you press stop and rewind together, and it goes back to 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. And that's a quick way if you're really far into the session, say you're 20 minutes in and you don't want to spend ages rewinding like a tape machine. So now we want to listen back to the track. So what we do is we go back to the arm button for channel 1, we change that so it's green, and this means it's in playback mode. Make sure that none of the others are on red, make sure they're all green, ready for playback, otherwise it will record onto those channels, making additional data you don't want on the hard drive and taking up space that other students could be using. And then we press play, and then you'll see there is a representation of what I've just recorded going through the LCD screen. I can then adjust the level on the playback fader to make it a little bit louder. So when I come to mix it, I can adjust the faders to get a good balance on the volumes.